Hey, what's up, internet? So it is Thanksgiving week here in the States, and I realized that I am off mostly this whole entire 5 days. So I'm like, why don't I do a reading vlog? Because it is coming to the end of the year, and my goal is to try to read 200 books this year, and I'm literally like 7 books away from that. And I'm like, what better way than starting to read some of my manga, comic books, and stuff like that. So today is Thanksgiving. Yesterday I did finish a book called Earthling. All I have to say, I gave it a 3. That book made me really uncomfortable. I do not do cannibalism, which is really funny because I like horror books, but that one literally just made me sad and it broke me a little bit. And yeah, it's not scary. It just makes you feel very uncomfortable, and then you're just feeling for these characters, and then them just trying to get out of the situations they're in. I just couldn't. That book, I was hooked. I was not liking the book, and I just kept reading it because I was intrigued. But at the same time, I was like, no, it's like a car accident where you're like, you can't look away. So I was like, no. Okay, so today's Thanksgiving. I am dressed and ready to go. Today, basically what I did was like decorate like my bookcase, put some like Christmas stuff. I was gonna say Halloween, we're past that, but I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas, you know. And before I go have Din Din, I am gonna take a book with me. Seance Tea Party. This is so cute. I love the artwork. I'm not gonna lie, that's the main reason I picked it up. So I can't wait to read this. Probably not gonna read it since I'm gonna be with family and all that good stuff. But I figured, why not read in a place where I don't really want to socialize. So yeah. So day 1 of my reading vlog. Hopefully I actually film stuff. Okay, laters. Okay, so I got home. I did not read any of my book whatsoever, but I am home. I'm gonna relax. I'm currently in my little reading nook with my gnome, hanging out with gnomies, and I'm gonna try to attempt to read this because I'm very tired. I have the food hangover right now, and I'm just like, sleep. But I really want to get into it because the drawings are so pretty, and yeah. I did have a lot of fun having Thanksgiving dinner with my extended family and meeting a cousin I have not seen like since I was like a baby or something. I don't know. I haven't seen her in a really long time, so it was interesting seeing her. So yeah, good times. And I got leftovers, which is exciting because I could eat it tomorrow. Okay, so let's get into reading. Hi, welcome to Black Friday. So yesterday, I did not whatsoever end up reading Sans Tea Party because I got so tired after reading 5 pages of it. So technically I did read some. It's so cute. It really is. It's basically about a young girl who is essentially getting older. She's finally a teenager, and all her friends are now like not wanting to play outside. They want to be on their phones, playing video games and all that stuff, but she still wants to have that inner childhood. She doesn't want to grow up. And so she ends up summoning a ghost who, it's a ghost, so never grew up. It's really cute so far, but I was so exhausted. I had the Thanksgiving like coma coming. I did end up reading my ebook, which is a smutty smut book. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's My Rebellious Omega. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna put it here. I really enjoy these. These are like my guilty pleasure books. I read them so much. They just make me happy. Don't know why. They're just really easy, really quick to read. There's a lot of smut in them. So today is Black Friday here in the States. I was not intending to go out today, and then I remembered when I woke up this morning I had to go to work, which kind of sucked. Not the fact that I had to work, but the fact I ended up buying stuff. So after work I ended up going shopping, and I ended up getting 3 books. This one is a gift, so I'm not going to really show that because I don't know if she's going to be watching. The other one is Love Nest 2, which is a spin-off from another one. And I believe it's Therapy Game that this is based off of, wait, what? Anyways, it's a spin-off story, so I'm kind of interested to read this one. I read the first one, did not realize to continue it because a lot of mangas, they kind of stop, and granted, I was bootlegging a lot of mangas because they weren't translated in English, so I couldn't get them anywhere. It kind of feel bad, but now to upset the scale, balance the scale, I'm buying them all. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes because I don't remember how his storyline ended. So yeah, he was the jerk who basically tried to break up the couple from the original storyline. So I'm like, I hope you have a happy ending, but still, you sucked. And the next one is Other Ever Afters, and this is a fairy tale LGBT representation book. I'm really excited because I've heard really good things about it, and also the fact that some of these fairy tales are like, were never told because they had LGBT LGBT community was in it, essentially. So I'm really excited to read it. And the artwork, I'm a sucker for artwork, so if the art does not hit, I'm not buying it. And then I ended up going to Ulta, and I ended up buying a palette because they had a Black Friday sale and I couldn't help it. And look here, I was like, I want it. It was on sale. I'm like, $10. Well, technically I think with tax and everything is $14, but still, that is insane for something that costs almost 40 bucks. So I was like, do I want it? Do I need it? I'm like, screw it. I don't have that many palettes. I've been playing with makeup recently. So I was like, I'm gonna take it. And then I was surprised when I got home because my last Christmas gift came in, and it's by Unicorn. It's by Unicorn. I'm so excited. I bought some stuff for myself too. This is Unicorn Eclipse, so if you're interested to know where I get my really cool like stationery, this is where I get it from. If you don't know what I'm talking about, follow me on my Instagram because I take pictures of pretty stuff and they make me happy, and I hope they make you happy too. Okay, that is it. Oh, okay, that is it. I'm gonna have Thanksgiving leftovers and then probably hopefully read more of Seance Tea Party or something else. Yeah, I'm gonna jump out to Taylor Swift Midnight. I've been obsessed with this album recently and I just can't get it out of my head. So, and also the fact that her concert's coming up and I'm so excited because she's coming to my city. Yeah, ticket sales were insane. Sad girl. Okay. Laters. I'm actually drinking chocolate milk because it's just the season of, well, hot cocoa, but I like chocolate milk better, so I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so today is Saturday. I have not really done much since it's my day off for Thanksgiving week. I did end up finishing 2 books. The first one was My Reluctant Omega. This is basically just a smut book that I really liked by Kleenex? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Kelex, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. I love these books a lot. They're smutty, they're sweet, they're just like the epiphany of Harley Quinn romance books, but they're gay. So that's what I enjoy to read. I realize I am that Harley Quinn adult now, but instead of Harley Quinn, it's all these like self-published gay books, and I'm here for it. So this is book 2 of a series. I cannot wait for book 3. I'm kind of curious to see what the couple is. This kind of revolves around a world where you have omegas, alphas, betas, and omegas basically do not have like any human rights whatsoever. And this guy ends up deciding that he has to take care of his family, so he ends up pretending to be a beta to go to school, get a job, and then he gets caught. But before he gets caught, he ends up meeting his alpha, who does very, very naughty things to him. So it's really cheesy. I live for it, but also the fact that it gives you a lot of insight on stuff, and especially since they're not just one-dimensional characters, they have feelings, they have lives, they do stuff, and sometimes you don't agree with those stuff, but I really enjoy those kind of books. So if you do too, highly recommend reading the series. Just once again, it's book 2, so there is a book before it. It's his uncle's story, and then we get him, and then hopefully we'll get his best friend or his baby brother. Who knows? The next book I ended up finishing today was Seance Tea Party. This is a kid's graphic novel. I do not care that's a kid's graphic novel. I think this is the cutest story ever. It's about a girl who is kind of in the in-between where she's 13 now, she's a teenager, all her friends are like into like dating, boys, girls, makeup and all this stuff, and she's just not comfortable with that because she still wants to play outside, she still wants to play with dolls, and she wants to use her imagination, and it's just sweet. And then she ends up accidentally summoning a ghost that lives in her house, and this ghost basically shows her that, hey, you can still do all these grown-up stuff but still be a kid at heart. And that hit me so hard because I have been a grown-up. I pay for my own bills, I pay taxes, hold on, and I also do my own laundry, which you can hear right now. Okay, now it's done. And by just everything like that, being young at heart, I kind of understand that, especially now that I'm older and I actually have my own money, which I can spend however I want. I buy stuff like this, books or posters, stuff like that make me happy. And this book just made me happy because just the thought of wanting to be who I was, but also being scared because it wasn't the social norm. Yeah, so this, if you want something very lighthearted and a little spooky and just really, really cute, and all I have to say is also the art style is so pretty. I love it. And it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. Also today, besides doing my chores as an adult, I ended up finally watching the Wednesday show on Netflix. I am loving it. And because of that, I kind of want my next read to be Over My Dead Body. This is also a graphic novel. But then again, I also want to finish Nothing But Black Teeth. I actually started this, and I kind of want to finish it, but at the same time, I'm not really in the mood for like a revenge ghost story. But then again, this is also a revenge ghost story, I believe. It's just, I don't know. This is giving me a lot of Wednesday Adam vibes. And also, since I'm kind of on the roller coaster Wednesday Adam right now, I feel like this might be a better story to read. It's about a school, like a boarding school for witches, and something happens to one of the girls' roommates, and we don't know anything about it. That's kind of how it starts off, that something happens. She wants to find out what happened to her roommate, or her roommate slash best friend, and yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I love the cover, I like the artwork, and it's about witches and boarding schools, so I was like, I want it. Then I have Nothing But Black and Teeth, which I started reading during the week of Halloween, and I never finished it. And this is essentially about a group of friends who are going to a wedding, and you find out there's like this weird love square going on where one person dated the other person, they broke up, met the other person, they still don't believe they're over the other person, now they're with someone else, and it's just like this weird thing. And they're about to get married in this temple that it's said that a bride killed all her bridesmaids, buried them and herself in the temple, which I'm not sure how that worked, because her groom ended up getting killed, or that's what they say. So anybody who gets married in this tomb, or not tomb, this temple, ends up getting cursed by this ghost. And it's such a short read, and I kind of want to finish it, but at the same time I'm like, do I really want to read this over this? I don't know. We'll find out. So that is my update for Saturday. We'll see if I read anything else. I'm not feeling really great right now.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
I'm just really exhausted, probably from going out and working yesterday. So yeah. So that's all I got. Hi, internet. We meet again after a week of death. I literally died. The last clip you saw, I was dying. I ended up getting really sick, and so it's been a week. I'm better now, obviously. I should have known something was up, considering that I was so tired and I could not concentrate on reading, even though I tried to do a reading vlog. It did not work out so well. But I'm gonna do my little tiny wrap up of November. I ended up reading roughly 12 books. So yeah, let's end this wonderful video right now. Well, the first book I ended up reading in November was Such Sharp Teeth. I am obsessed with anything werewolf related, so this was a really interesting plot twist. Not plot twist, interesting retelling of a werewolf story. Highly recommend. I like the whole sister dynamic aspect, and then just the whole how they deal with trauma. That was really cool. I really did enjoy it. The next one was the Kingdom Night series. It's a trilogy. The first one is Pendulum. The second one is Limit. You know what? I'm just gonna put it here. It's that one. I really do enjoy the covers. And then the third one is Equilibrium. Werewolf story, romance. I'm obsessed with Joel Aberneth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Their other pen name is Elsie Davis, and I was obsessed with their Omega series they had. And yeah, so I've been going through their new pen name and reading all their books. I didn't realize they're kind of writing at the same time, so it's kind of cool that they're now merging them, but there's like a big difference of their writing styles, sort of like Stephen King and his other person. I can't remember the life of me who it is. I'll just put it somewhere on the screen. If you like love triangles, highly recommend this series. It is very smutty, so it's like on that smut side. The next one is It Starts With Us, which is the sequel to It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This one I really enjoyed. I did really like it. I heard someone say this. It was just so funny, and I was like, oh my god, it's so true. It Ends With Us is what I realistically believe men are actually like when I'm dating them, and then It Starts With Us is what I imagine my dating life to be. And I was like, damn, that is brutal. So if you've ever read the first one, I was like, damn. But I kind of see the humor in it, so I really do like this. I think she did a good job with him. I don't think I'm gonna read any of her other books because I've been trying to, But to be honest, Ugly Love and It Starts With Us and Now, no, It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us are the only three books I actually liked, because I have to be intrigued the first chapter to continue, and if it does not catch me within those two paragraphs, like, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of interested, but I'm not gripped yet, let's keep going. If you don't get me there, not going into it. The next one is a kids anthology horror book, and that is Don't Turn Out the Lights, and this is a tribute to the guy who wrote Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. The only reason I didn't say it is because I don't know how to pronounce his name. Alvin Schwartz, whatever. I really like this. It kind of gave me like the R.L. Stine goosebumps, like the show, not the actual books. I really did like this. This is sort of like retellings of like well, scary stories, just retold of I'm gonna stop talking about that. It's just scary stories that authors just revamp themselves. The next one was a manga. It is The Spaniard's Pregnant Bride, which I did not realize was actually a Harley Quinn series, not the chick from DC. So I read the manga, found out it was that series. It's basically about this guy who ends up knocking up a princess, and he does not like this princess, but he accidentally gets her knocked up. How do you accidentally knock up somebody? Easy. You wear a mask and you do not know who this person is until they come to you telling you that, hey, remember that night? That was me. You knocked me up. It was kind of sweet. It was kind of just really cliche. I read it mostly because of the artwork. I really did enjoy. It was sweet, just very cheesy. The hallmark of romance, but smutty. The next one I read is Sign Here by Claudia Lux. I enjoyed this book so much. This is sort of what hell will be like for Claudia, I'm assuming. And I was not expecting it to be office working of demons basically being like travel agents for hell. And it follows this demon who is trying to get like a full flesh of family, and he needs one more soul to complete the whole family set. And it's just really, it was great. I loved it, and especially the little plot twist of his partner in crime, because he's training someone to like get all these souls. The next one is the Omega Quadrant series. I think this only has 2 books at the moment. The first one is His Surrogate Omega, and the other one is His Reluctant Omega. Once again, trashy, love them. Anything romance. Mostly I enjoyed this one a lot too, sort of like the Kingdom of Night series, where it's more world building than it is mostly the smut. I really enjoyed this one mainly because it talks about omegas, and in this world omegas are sort of like the females in the world. The only big difference is once a month they go into this like heat breakdown where they want to be bred, so they're like in danger of like getting assaulted. So it was just interesting because in their world, they have no rights. After you hit this thing, you're basically imprisoned in this city where it's mostly just people who do not overreact to your pheromones, and so don't actually try to breed you. And so the person we're following is this guy who basically ends up going in to get a job to carry babies, so to be a surrogate, because that's the only job they can actually get, because apparently that's the only thing they're good for is taking care of kids and making them. And because of this, there's a domino effect of like civil rights for omegas. So it's really cool just reading like a world build around that, because you have alphas, you have betas, and yeah, it's just interesting. And in this world they don't have women. I forgot to mention that. The next one was Earthling. This one made me so uneasy. Now looking back at it, because I finished it last week, I think the only reason that it made me queasy is because I wasn't feeling so well, because I had like a stomach bug. This one, I don't know how to explain it, because the trauma the things the character went through, it's insane. And then the ending, oh my word, I could not. This is the same chick who wrote Convenience Store Woman, and so just reading it, I was like, I thought it was gonna be cute, but no, it's so heartbreaking. And she writes really well outcast people, and she validates how they think, so you're like, oh, you're right, you're definitely right, you know. And then you're like, no, what are we thinking? The next one I ended up reading is The Seance Tea Party. This one was really cute. I really enjoyed it. It's about a young girl who is kind of in the in-between of her teens year, so she's not a kid anymore, but she's not a teen yet. So everybody around her is getting older, and she still wants to play. She still wants to have like that childhood fun. So she's having a hard time with that, and she ends up summoning a ghost in her house, who ends up being her old imaginary friend when she was younger. And her imaginary friend, aka the dead girl, basically shows her like, hey, there's nothing wrong about still wanting to do like childish things, but it's okay to also like grown-up things as well. So it's like the in-between where I'm like, it hit, because I'm like, I love that story, because like I'm older now and I really don't care to be an adult, but I do adult stuff. Like I pay bills, I go to work and all that stuff. But then I have this amazing thing where I can actually save money to do this around me. So it's like, it's my childhood. It's everything I wished my childhood was like. The next book I ended up reading is Nothing But Blackened Teeth. This was a very short horror book. It was kind of iffy, wishy-washy for me. It's really short. I think it's like 120 pages. This one was interesting, but I think the reason why I couldn't get into it is because there's a lot of like old school culture, Japanese culture, that I didn't understand. And it's like it's a ghost story essentially. Four people go to Japan. They rent out this haunted like house to get married in, and the house has a legend where in this house the bride, the day of the wedding, her husband or her fiance ends up getting killed, and so she's so devastated she kills all the bridesmaids, and they bury them in like the floorboards and the walls and everything, and then she also buries herself in it. And so anytime anybody comes, she's trying to get her husband to marry her, or fiance to marry her, because, well, yeah, I mean, considering they're together, right? No, okay, whatever. And the last book I read for November was Bond Mason's Alpha. That it was cute. It was just mostly smut. That's it. Yeah, there's nothing much to talk about. I kind of found it a little boring, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, it was good. It was okay, you know. So that is it. This was my attempt to read for my Thanksgiving vacation before I finally got sick, and so now we're in December and I am starting to read more books. And yeah, well, I guess I catch you later, and happy holidays. Bye.